you actually started off as like JayyCrispp and all that too. So
Yeah.
tell me more about like Stern's great music at that time, you know, with like Casino, Best Friend, City Free Moving. Like I saw the Casino video too, and like I thought like the AK, like the rifle was like fake and all that too, but I thought like the stick was like sort of like real.
So funny enough, I can legally speak about this because you know the case was beaten in court. After we dropped that music video, I didn't know that I was already under an investigation at the time. So we dropped that music video, and like 3 days after we dropped it, I got raided.
Oh shit.
And then yeah, there was a bunch of shit that come from that. But everyone's like, oh yeah, like you know we were stupid at the time, man. Like yo, we were young and dumb. You know what I mean? I think I was 17 or no, I was 19 when I dropped that video, or 18.
Okay.
One of the two. And then you know we just wanted to portray this image so bad because that's what was popping at the time, right? But yeah, all that shit come backfire. I'll never do that again.
Okay.
You know, I think anybody that does that or puts that kind of stuff in a video, you're just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like even then, you know, you've had like, you know, kind of like clean cut releases too. Like you did like an interview for like the channel and all that, and I think you did like a performance video. So
Yeah.
So like even making from music at that time and then transitioning to like 1kJayy and all that too. So how was like that process like?
The process was kind of like when I started with the whole JayyCrispp thing, I wasn't taking music serious. You know what I mean? I started that through COVID. So it was kind of like I said, like I had just got out of jail. I was like, I can't go to work anywhere because it's COVID. And, you know, no disrespect to all my grocery store employees, but I'm not a person to work at a grocery store. You know what I mean? I'm not great in that field. So, you know, I found a studio. Shout out to Low Game Productions. Tapped in with this guy named Logan. He was working with some big names at the time. He was doing like media sound for Sony and doing stuff for the Marvel movies that were coming out and the I don't know if you want to say comics or anime movies, whatever you want to talk about. He was doing a lot of stuff for that, and it was a friend of a friend. So he introduced me. He was one of the only studios that were open through COVID. Actually, I don't know if I can say that. He was not open through COVID. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But we went over there, and then we started the whole thing, and it was crazy how I got the name JayyCrispp, because obviously my name's Jay, and they're like, yo, you got to think of something. And it was so weird. We were in a studio one night, and it was like, fuck, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, downtown Toronto. And there was like this dessert spot that was open around the corner. I ended up ordering apple crisp. Like that's like one of my favorite foods is apple crisp and ice cream. And then I think like Logan or my cameraman at the time, TSP Visuals, said like, yo, like JayyCrispp or something like that. And it just kind of stuck. Now that I think back on it, I'm like, yo, that was corny as fuck. Like that name was horrible. Whoever let me put music out under that was horrible. But yeah, no, it was just fun. Like it was fun. I wasn't taking anything serious at all. I've never done a show. I've never put promo behind anything. I've never, you know, I never did anything like that. We put out Casino, and Casino had a good run. I can't lie. There was a lot of people around me that still bump Casino to this day, and I absolutely hate that song. I think that era of my music was the worst music I've ever put out in my life. But like I said, I was learning. I didn't know the music stuff, right? I was, you know, getting into the melodic and the auto-tune and, you know, learning how to actually record something and make your vision become reality, right?
Yeah.
All those songs are freestyle. I never went into a studio. Everything under JayyCrispp was never written down. It was in the studio. We're just going to say whatever comes to my head and see what we come up with. And then we shot the Casino video. I was like, oh shit, this video started buzzing. And then obviously, like, I wouldn't say buzzing. Like, I think it caught like, I don't know, like 150 views in the first day or something like that. To me, at the time, I was like, holy shit, like 150 people tapped in to see this.
Yeah.
And then obviously the raid happened. And once the raid happened, word got around town quick. I never posted publicly like, oh, this is what happened, because that's not cool. Like I'm just, at the time, just retarded.
Yeah.
But then after the raid happened and everyone heard about it, that was when everyone really started oh shit, really looking back on the stuff.
Yeah.
And then Best Friend kind of came out of nowhere. There was we were in a studio one night and I was making City Free.
All right.
And I just wasn't really in the vibe to make no like hard rap music that night. There was a girl at the time that was a big part of my life, but she was like my best friend, but like there was feelings coming and stuff like that. So then, yeah, we just made the song, and the hook was, you know, I think that I'm falling in love with my best friend. That was the first like love track, I guess you could say, I ever made. And then that one sounded like shit, but everyone loved the storyline of the song. You know what I mean? Like if you listen to the words, I still go back on that song all the time, and I'm like, yo, these words were sick, but I sounded like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it went from there. I took a break from music for like a year, and then I just started getting in contact with Solo like crazy. Me and Solo, we were in a studio while I was JayyCrispp. Me and Solo probably recorded like 4 or 5 songs, but Solo was buzzing at the time. And I'm not the type of person, I don't know if you want to call it dick ride or glaze but I'll never let my come up be off of somebody else, you know what I mean? So Solo really just started bumping at the time. So I just didn't think it was the right time for me to put the music out with Solo. And then, but we always stayed in contact. That's always been like my big brother.
Yeah.
So, you know, he just reached out to me one day. He said, yo, bro, I'm in the studio today. Like, yo, come and pop by. I said, you know, I'll say no more. So we went down to the studio and me and him cooked up a track together. And then after that, I was kind of like, okay, shit. Like, yeah, I like doing this again. You know what I mean? This is fun. And then I sat down with Solo for weeks on end. And he said, yo, you got to record, bro. You got to put something out. You got to do this. You got to do that. I said, fuck, bro. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if music is the lane I really want to go. And then we recorded Fame and Fortune. I recorded Fame and Fortune. Solo super fuck with that track. Solo was like, yo, like I'd put a verse on this. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, so then fuck it, let's get back to this music shit. You know what I mean? Like let's do this. And then at the time I was like, yo, like I hate the name JayyCrispp. You know what I mean? So we had to come up with something new. And we were all sitting down in my brethren's basement the one day. And we were trying to come up with like a name for me and, you know, bounce ideas off each other. And I said something. I think someone called me and I paged them on the phone or something like that. And my homie looked at me. He's like, yo, he's like, you keep it a stack with everybody, eh? He's like, you keep it 1,000 all the time. And then we just kind of all looked at each other and we were like, yo, like 1kJayy. And everyone always thinks like 1kJayy means like, yo, I got $1,000 on me, or you know what I mean? Nah, 1K is just, I'm an honest person, you know what I'm saying? There's no need to sugarcoat shit. So we transferred into 1kJayy and it's been going ever since. Last year, I had a lot of problems going on last year that we'll get into later in the questions, but there was a lot of problems going on. So I took the year kind of off of music just to focus on myself a little bit.
All right.
And then this year, yo, I'm coming back in full effect, man. This year, I'm coming with everything this year. So
for sure.